We gon' talk about it. We gon' talk about it. We gon' talk about it. Situationships and relations. Tyron Joe, the host, start the conversation. Too much we gotta learn. 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 DZNZ, DZNZ, Internet Talk Radio. We gon' talk about it. We gon' talk about it. We gon' talk about it. Situationships and relations. Tyron Joe, the host, start the conversation. Too much we gotta learn. Too much we gotta learn. Too much we gotta learn.
All right, all right. Greetings, everybody. Greetings, everybody. I am Tyron Joe, your gracious host of the BZNZ Internet Talk Radio Show. And we're going to hop right on in. We are certainly thankful today for what many of you are celebrating today, and that is resurrection. That is Passover Sunday or Passover weekend. Some call it Easter. Well, today, for the purpose of this video, this broadcast, we're going to call it. It's going to be Resurrection Sunday for us, but we're going to resurrect ourselves. Yeah, that's right. We're going to resurrect ourselves from this mental hell that we are in. And I really don't want to be before you long. I just want to be before you strong. Get this point out there. Because it has been brought to my attention that many of our women are really upset and up in arms over some things that our good brother Cam Newton has said. And I really wanted to understand and really analyze the video to figure out what was it that our good brother has said. Well, to me, it looked like it wasn't too much of nothing. I'm just saying, to me, it looked like what he was saying was something that the scriptures was talking about. Everything that he was saying is something that the scripture speaks of pertaining to a woman. We not playing games today. I'm not playing no games with you today. We are really speaking the truth. But you know what? I wanted to do something real quick. I wanted to really look up the word resurrection. And you know how I am about those definitions. Wanted to look up the word resurrection and see exactly what does resurrection mean. It says the real meaning, the rising of Christ from the dead. And we can go deep into who Christ is as well. Probably not on this video, but there's deeper meanings of who Christ is, just so you know. It says the rising again to life of all the human dead before the final judgment. And then another one says the state of one risen from the dead. What is an example of resurrection? It says the definition of resurrection is a coming back to life or coming back into practice. An example of a resurrection is Jesus' return from the grave, the state of having risen from the dead, the act of arising from the dead and becoming alive again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have some readings here that I'm going to be doing, and it's going to explain. Well, there's a read from this book right here, the Willie Lynch letter, The Making of a Slave. Okay, And with that book that we're going to read, it's going to explain to you. It's going to explain to you how we were once dead. No. How we was once alive. Now we dead. And you know what? This resurrection Sunday. So we want to come back to life again. Let's go ahead and get started.
A bad bitch is a person who's just, you know, girl, I'm a bad bitch. You know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
You know, and it's a lot of women who are bad bitches. And I say bitches in a way, not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
All right, before we take a look at the words that Cam Newton said, what we're going to do, and we want to define the word, and that word is ego. We want to define ego because that is something that we need to let go, is our ego. And I'm being nice by saying our. It says ego is a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. To have an ego is essentially to our very makeup. It will define who we are and how we connect with others. Ego becomes an issue when it becomes overpowering. Everyone has an ego, whether big or small. Is ego good in a relationship? Ego has a role in spoiling many relationships, and is not just a problem with people who are dating. Ego can ruin friendships and put a wedge between family members too. If you have had a string of unsuccessful relationships, you need to let go of your ego and take a step forward toward true happiness. Somebody wrote, I think it was one of the chat rooms on Twitter. Somebody had wrote that Cam Newton has said, it was a woman, Cam Newton has set black women back to slavery. That's kind of extreme, don't you think? That's kind of extreme to say that Cam Newton, a rich, a black man, a rich black man, a black man that has been with multiple women, so now you can't say, well, the only men that talk like that are broke black men. This a rich one. This man playing NFL. He's making far above six figures. Now they still up in arms. Could it be perhaps they are black? Could it be perhaps it's a black man saying it, not a white one? I don't know. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comment section. But we want to read today, while we are resurrecting ourselves, we want to read just a few things out of this book. Something today that really woke me up. I was like, wow. I read this book many times, but I didn't really focus on that particular part. I mean, I just read it and didn't really lock in on it. Well, I locked in on it today. And let us read. This is page 16, where it says the breaking process of the African woman. It says, then take the female, run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desires willingly. Test her in every way because she is the most important factor for good economics. Facts. If she shows any sign of resistance in submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip on her to extract the last bit of bitch out of her. Take care not to kill her, for in doing so, you spoil good economics. When in complete submission, she will train her offspring in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age. That's totally ridiculous. So off the top, Willie Lynch was putting into the minds of the slaveholders, the slave catchers, is that we want to break the black woman first. We want to destroy her mindset first, to where when she have babies, she's going to teach them in their early years how important it is to labor and to work for someone else and not for their own damn self. Cam Newton, he said, now, woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss, bitch, I'm this, I'm that. No, baby, but you can't cook. You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead. The Holy Scriptures talk about a woman being quiet. Hello? It talks about a woman, going to her husband, going to her father, seeking instruction from them. Hello? Come on now. A lot of women, that looks like the part that a lot of women had a problem with. Well, Cam, he talking about a woman need to just shut the F up. It's nothing but facts. Go find a married woman that's been married 40, 50 years. I don't even want to drop down to 20 or 30, because even some of them that's been married 20 or 30 still disrespect their man. But find you one of them women that's been married 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years. They gonna tell you the importance as a woman of knowing how to zip thy lips. This ain't no plaything. Probably gonna go a little deeper on this Thursday. So make sure you tune in Thursday on the BZNZ Talk YouTube page and Facebook page. Make sure you tune in Thursday. Shameless plug. But everything he said was God's divine plan. You don't know how to cook. You don't know how to be quiet. And you don't know how to allow a man to lead. Yeah, we know that you have been submissive. I mean, not submissive. We know that you have been independent for years. And we know that you have been living by yourself for years. But now you found you a man. You found you a man that you want to be with. And all those years of being dependent has not stopped. So you want to know how to, okay. So you want to know how to get to the point of, well, let me do this. Let me do that. Let me do it my way. If it ain't done my way, I'm mad. Right? Ain't that what they say? Ain't that what they say? Happy wife, happy life. Well, what about happy husband, happy life? So, let us continue to read out of some more things that Willie said. Understanding is the best thing, therefore we shall go deeper into this area of the subject matter concerning what we have produced here in this breaking process of the female nigger. We have reversed the relationships. In her natural uncivilized state, she would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male, and she would have a limited protective tendency toward her independent male offspring and would raise the female offspring to be dependent like her. Nature had provided for this type of balance. Stop right there. Did Willie just tell you the truth? Did Willie just say how it was supposed to be? How it is supposed to be? I know I'm hollering. Let me lower this thing. Did Willie just really say how it's supposed to be originally? Because to me, it looked like he did. To me, it looks like that's what he did. Let's read that again. He said, we have reversed the relationships. In her natural uncivilized state, she would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male, and she would have a limited protective tendency toward her independent male offspring and would raise the female offspring to be dependent like her. Nature had provided for this type of balance. But look at what he said right after that. Look at what he said. We reverse nature by burning and pulling one civilized nigger apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death, all in her presence. Come on, we going back down memory lane, and we are resurrecting our minds today on this Resurrection Sunday. This is what we are doing. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state. In this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reverse roles. For fear of the young male's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong. Because she has become psychologically independent, she will train her female offspring to be psychologically independent. What have you got? You've got the nigga woman out front and the man behind and scared. This is a perfect situation for sound sleep and economics. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, with that being said, it is time that we get information. It is time that we stop trying to, ladies in particular, that we stop trying to be the man and allow the man to be the man. That's what our dear brother Cam Newton is saying. He said, you don't even know what he said. He said, you don't know how to allow a man to lead. You don't know. But the thing is, when you get into that submissive state, when you get into that submissive role, whereas you know how to fall back and let a man take his position, let a man take his rightful place, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see just how much better it is on the other side. You're going to see just how green the grass really is on the other side. It's going to be like a weight has lifted off of your life. And then, my friend, you're going to know that, hey, I've been resurrected and now I'm in heaven. Heaven is now here on earth. This is peace and paradise on earth. There's no other life that I would rather live than this life of submission. I'm telling you, young ladies. I'm telling you, sisters. I'm telling you today, this is what it is. Let us go and do our last final reading, coming out of the book of Proverbs, chapter 31. And we're going to start at verse 10. And we're going to just read through some things and see what does the picture of the virtuous woman look like. Verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Jada Pinkett Smith, read that verse 10 times a night. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth the vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth out by night. Let's go back to 17 real quick. I want you to catch something. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. Does that sound like the scripture is saying that this woman works out? This woman is paying attention to her body. This woman is paying attention to her weight. Let's go to verse 19. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. At her hands hold, she stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen, and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. Stop right there. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord shall be praised. Fear the Lord. Which Lord are we talking? Or are we talking all of the Lords? Hello? Are we talking all of them? The one here on earth, the ones here on earth, and the Most High, the number one. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Well, tonight, as I close this out, I just want to ask for the women out here that are married, that are in relationships, that know their role as a woman, but are having problems with getting a man or having problems with being married. Are you doing this? Are you operating your life as the scriptures that I have just read? Are you operating your life according to these scriptures? Are you watching the words that are coming out of your mouth? Are you watching the things that are going into your ear? Are you watching the things that you are seeing with your eyes? Are you spending all your days on social media reading bullcrap? Are you watching Days of Our Lives? Are you sitting back listening to music that has nothing to do with being productive? Are you doing that? If so, you might want to stop that. Those of you that say you know what it takes to be a virtuous woman, you know what it takes to be a submissive woman, are you doing it according to the scriptures? And for those of you that do not believe in the scriptures, and for those of you that are atheists, I got something for that too. Willie just broke that down the middle. Guess what he said? He said nature had a way of balancing things out. So are you doing it the way of nature? Learning how to play the number 2 position. Learning how to sit in the passenger seat, as our good brother King Dwayne teaches. Sitting in the passenger seat, being that other set of eyes, helping to navigate for your husband. Are you doing that? Or are you sitting there arguing? Are you sitting there talking to him, belittling him while he's driving, talking about his driving, criticizing his driving, getting him more agitated? Come on, man. I'm not playing no games. I'm not playing no games with you today. This thing is real deal. Thursday night, April 14th. Was it 14th? April 14th. It was not an impromptu, but it was a open forum show. But a few hours before we had started the show, I was in the break room at my job, and I come across the news where it said that 3 million women, 3 million black women have been evicted, I guess, since the pandemic. I really don't believe the numbers like that. I don't believe the numbers, but I want to zone in on the fact, why would they say black women? Why would they say black women? Not only that, there's statistics that talk about how 62% of black women are not married. What is wrong? What is wrong? People say, "Oh, Tyron, you're a misogynistic clown. All you do is bash women, yada yada yada." Please get over yourself, because there's no bashing of women going on here. Actually, I want to see black women prosper. I want to know why. I really want to get to the bottom of why our black women, 3 million, quote unquote, the media serpent said 3 women. So why are they talking about eviction? So many of them got evicted. We can get into the technical part later, meaning, we know that there's men that was living with these women. We know that these women's apartments probably was in their name. It wasn't in the man's name. We know that the man probably was the one that got them evicted. Yeah, we could talk about that all day. But let's deal with the women. There's a podcast or a show on YouTube where there's a young man that interviewed women that is homeless in Atlanta. Come on, man. What I'm doing is I'm trying to let you know that there might be a little bit of truth to this, the huge number of black women being evicted. And we trying to get to the bottom. Why are they evicted? Some of these women are pretty black women. Where they husbands? These women got children. Where are the fathers of these children? Why these women don't have husbands? Where is they covering? Come on, man. We're not playing no games. We are here to resurrect the mind. Get you up out of that mental death that you are in. That's what we're here for. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we just wanted to say thank you for tuning in. I am Tyron Joe. That's been my time. Please tune in this Thursday. We're going to deal more and more about this situation with Cam Newton. Even we're going to speak a little bit more about what we spoke about this past Thursday, about the evictions, the fast growing rate of evictions. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, peace. Be blessed. Greetings, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in to the BZNZ Internet Talk Radio Show YouTube page. We appreciate your generosity and your support. If you are new to the page, please do us a real quick favor. That is, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to let you know when we are live. Also, everyone else that's listening, please hit the like button. Please hit the share button. We greatly appreciate your generosity and your support. Peace.